I kicked open my husband's casket at the burial ground, and instead of his body, I found a fresh banana tree stem dressed in his best suit, hiding in the village police station. Elders wants to kill me for desecrating the land. I don't care. I want the world to know that my husband is not dead. I'm married to my husband for 4 years. One afternoon, I received a call that my husband collapsed at his workplace in Lagos. He died of cardiac arrest before they could reach the hospital. That moment, my world ended. Fainted more than 3 times. I rolled on the floor and I tore my clothes. My husband was my life. We had no children, but we had each other. His family immediately took over without even allowing me to see him. I was told his brothers came with bus and carried his corpse from hospital to the morgue. Then from the city morgue to the village morgue in Umuahia. They told me that according to their tradition, a childless woman must not see her husband's corpse. The only thing I could do is to cover him with sand on the day of his burial. I cried and begged them to let me see his face one last time, but they refused. They were all echoing, "Do you want to die? If not, respect tradition." Started making arrangements for his burial and they came to me. I sold my provision store, including everything inside. Sold my car, emptied my account and gave them 4 million naira for a befitting burial. Because I wanted my husband to rest like a king. On the day of the burial, the atmosphere was very heavy. Everyone was crying, but my heart was so heavy. Men were there drinking palm wine. The casket was sitting there beautifully. It was white and gold. But as the pallbearers were lowering the coffin into the grave, spirits became restless. I remember the dream I had a day before the burial. I saw my husband laughing at me. He was sitting in a fancy restaurant, drinking wine and eating chicken, staring at me, laughing. Then something in me told me to open the coffin. Immediately, I stood up. I shouted, "Stop." The music immediately stopped, and everyone turned, staring at me. I shouted, "I must see him." Running towards the grave. One of my husband's uncle blocked me. He shouted, "Are you mad? Do you want to bring curse upon us?" I shouted, "Let the curse come." I pushed the old man. I don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden, I felt like I had strength of 10 men. I jumped into the grave, grabbed hammer from one of the undertakers. Everybody was calling out to me, "Don't do it." They were rushing to stop me, but I was faster. Used the hammer and smashed the lock of the casket. Then I opened it. I could hear everyone screaming, but I didn't care. Could you believe there was no one inside the casket? There was a thick, heavy banana stem. It was dressed in the expensive Italian suit I bought for him last year. They even put his cap on top of the stem. Immediately, I shouted from the grave, "Where is my husband?" I brought out the banana stem, holding it on my hands. His brothers were there, frozen and shaking. Not too long, my phone vibrated in my pocket. I took it out and it was a call from a friend. She told me to go to WhatsApp right now, that she was sending me something. I quickly went to WhatsApp and I saw a picture. But it wasn't just an ordinary picture. The worst part of it was my younger sister that posted it. It was a picture of her and a man holding glasses of champagne in a first-class airplane cabin. The location was tagged, "Jackpot to Canada, New Beginnings." There was another slide of the man kissing her cheek. The man was my husband, my supposed dead husband. The caption read, "Goodbye Nigeria, me and my baby are off to start a new life. God is faithful." My phone fell off my hands and fell into the grave. My husband faked his death and his family They used me. They made me sell everything I had to pay for a funeral. That was actually their flight ticket money. I was surprised. My own sister and my own husband. I climbed out of the grave with the hammer in my hands. I didn't cry again because the tears dried up instantly. I walked up to my husband's uncle and I asked him, "You knew?" He looked down and said, "It's not like that. That my sister was pregnant for him. They needed an heir and I was barren." I didn't know when I swung the hammer and he hit on his head. I ran off and with the help of a friend, she took me to the police station to hide. Because my husband's people were after me. The DPO said it's a family matter and I have nothing left. No husband, no sister, no money, no shop. It has been a while now and I've tried my best to heal. I smile like everything is okay. But I know in my mind that the payback time is coming. I will never forgive them. I still have that picture saved on my phone. My husband thinks he can escape. He thinks Canada is far. But he forgot that one cannot know it all. I am not sad anymore, but I am on a mission. A mission to pay them back for what they did to me. I want to ask, if you were in my shoes, would you forgive them? Should I report them to the immigration and get them deported back to the grave I dug for? Or should I leave them to God?